There is no belief in destiny in superstitious karmic philosophy. This once again reveals that belief in karma is completely perverted. It has wrongly believed in the great lie that everyone determines his or her own fate. According to superstitious beliefs of karma, the kind of life one finds oneself in is entirely dependent on one's behavior in a previous life. In other words, it argues for the lie that a person has determined the kind of life they have now with their own hands in an earlier life. The fact is, however, that it is Allah who determines a person's destiny, who creates all the events they encounter, who determined those events and that life before the individual was even born. I seek refuge in Allah from the accursed Satan. Nothing occurs either in the earth or in yourselves without its being in a book before we make it happen. This is something easy for Allah. Every moment in the lives of everyone who has ever lived in this world, or who will ever do so in the future, from their state as embryos in their mother's wombs to their deaths, from their first day at school to the moment the first white hair appears on their heads, their every moment has been determined, lived and observed in the sight of Allah. That is the destiny of everyone in the world. I seek refuge in Allah from the accursed Satan. We have created all things in due measure. Everyone is unconditionally bound, willingly or unwillingly, to the destiny determined for him or her by Allah. In the same way that one cannot alter one's past, neither can one alter one's future. Someone on their way to a meeting they regard as a turning point of the life in question, and who misses it because of heavy traffic may fall into terrible despair and regard what has happened as a major tragedy. They may even say, "If I had left home a bit earlier, this would not have happened." But they are lamenting in vain. The way that person left home, the route they took, and what means they used to head for the meeting were all determined in the sight of Allah before they were even born. And as with everything that happens, Allah created that event in the most auspicious manner. I seek refuge in Allah from the accursed Satan. It may be that you hate something when it is good for you, and it may be that you love something when it is bad for you. Allah knows, and you do not know. Allah endows everyone with the feeling that they make events happen, and people make great efforts in all areas as a result of that feeling. For example, when they decide to write a book, they research the subject, thinking deeply about it, take great pains over what they write, and check it again and again. They gradually prepare their book, although every stage is already written and determined in destiny. When they hear the doorbell ring, they stop work to go and answer it. Yet these are all things that are predestined. In the verses, Allah informs us that it is He who creates what we do, and that those actions in fact belong to Him. I seek refuge in Allah from the accursed Satan. You did not kill them, it was Allah who killed them. And you did not throw when you threw, it was Allah who threw. So He might test the believers with this excellent trial from Him. Allah is all-hearing, all-knowing. I seek refuge in Allah from the accursed Satan. Allah created both you and what you do. That being the case, everyone possessed of reason and conscience must do all they can in all matters, but must also be aware that all these endeavors and their consequences have already been lived, observed, and brought to a conclusion in the sight of Allah.